Oh, I forgot to mute you all. And then go ahead and grab your bolster. Actually, let's relax in Balasana, child's pose. So come down onto your knees. You can either have wide-kneed child's pose. You can even have a bolster right between the knees if you like. And then relax and recline on the bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you can use a block. And even have your knees together to get the full back stretch. So if you rest your forehead on the block, you can rest your shoulders by placing the palms beside the feet. If you are a little tight in the hamstrings, which is right behind your glute here, you can actually sit on a block, having the sitting bones on the block and the block between the heels. So hopefully these blocks do help with any pressure in the neck. And then if you want, you can have your knees nice and wide, allow the belly to hang. If you want, you can extend those arms too, just to relax your shoulders. So slow your breath down. Where you're resting on your forehead, that point between the brow, just go ahead, close those eyes and focus gaze toward the third eye. Allow your eyeballs to sink. Resting your face, let the cheeks hang. Both your bottom and top cheeks. So breathing slowly into your back body, slow your breath down. Take that long inhalation into the back body. Hold it there, and then exhale just as slowly. Now, breathing in, counting the seconds of your inhalation. And then hold it just gently. And then exhale just as long. Settling into that breath. So if you have it 3 to 4 second inhalation, or 2 to 3 seconds even, try increasing it 1 extra second. So maybe 4 to 5 seconds long. Try to go for 5 to 6 or 6 to 7. Just keep inhaling 1 extra second. Hold it gently at the bottom. And then exhale just as long. And then at that very top, hold it at the very top just for a microsecond. And with each inhalation, observe your body. Is it relaxing? Is it softening? If your feet happen to cramp, you can tuck or untuck those toes. If your hips get a little tight, you can come in and out of this pose anytime. But keep in mind to breathe, increasing the seconds of your breath. Slow your breath down, just like a land turtle. You can increase their longevity by slowing the breath down, 4 breaths per minute. Humans, we do 12 to 20 breaths per minute, but you can just slow it down. Allowing your back to stretch, allowing those glutes and hamstrings to stretch here. Now removing any blocks out of the way, reaching the arms out in front of the top of the mat, breathing and reaching. Exhale, walk the hands all the way to your far left. Lay the belly on that left lap. Grab that left hand. Breathe into your right armpit. Take that time to Take that long breath. Inhaling back toward the center, inhaling, reaching. Exhale, walk the hands all the way toward your right. Grab that right hand with the left. Lay that belly on that right lap if possible. And take that long, deep breath into your left lung. Inhaling back toward the center, reaching. Now dropping your elbows, walking the knees underneath the hips here. Exhale, drop your forehead toward the mat. Breathe into the back, pull the sit bones back. You can even rest on your chin, get a little extra stretch of the shoulders. Or you can even use blocks to support your arms, forearms, elbows if you like, or you can take your hands together and namaste and pull it behind the skull. Allow the heart to sink. Slow the breath down. And then dropping the forearms, dropping onto your belly button, shaking your tailbone, spread those fingers. Release the glutes. Inhale the chin up to the sky, breathing in. Exhale, drop the chin to your chest. Rock your ears left and right. Now let that bowling ball of a head loosen up the neck. Might be a little stiff from waking up. Just be gentle. Inhaling back to neutral spine. Left arm across the top of the mat. Inhale that right arm up to the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, weave it underneath your left armpit. Walk that left hand to the right here. Here you can rest your chin or cheek either on the crook of your arm or that top left bicep, and then allow your heart to melt. Breathe all the way down to your tailbone. Close those eyes. They're growing the wings of your back, spreading the skin between the shoulder blades. Close those eyes. Breathe all the way down to your tailbone. And release and relax. This is a nice little stretch for those arms and shoulders. And generously tighten. Give yourself a nice hug. Breathe all the way down toward those toes, and then give yourself a little massage. Pat on the back. Awaken the back shoulders. Congratulate yourself for getting out of bed this morning. And then here, unwinding, resting on your left cheek, facing your right hand. Left hand beside that left hip, just rest on your left side body. And again, inhale that right knee toward that right elbow. Close those eyes. This is one of the positions I wake up to when I hit my alarm. I kind of rest here to open up my left shoulder and my right hip. So feeling the texture of the mat. Breathing into the back body. Close those eyes and imagine your heart, feel your heart thump. Just observe. Imagine that heart getting bigger and bigger like a balloon. And having it explode past your chest wall. Imagine these tendrils, these nice plant roots rooting out past the rubber mat, breaking through the rubber mat, past the ground that you're on, either as a fuzzy carpet, rug, or floor. Have it break through the floor, all the way past the concrete. Imagine it growing roots all the way down to the earth, into the soil. Those growing faster and rooting into the center of the earth where liquid magma, Mother's energy, the Mother Earth's energy is bound. And how those roots can absorb Mother Earth's energy right back into your body. Feel that nourishment. And then closing up those roots back into your heart. Extend that left arm out like a bird's wing, palm facing down right behind you. Left arm, palm facing down, right hand in front of you like a push-up hand. You're going to get into the shoulders. We're going to exhale, roll over to your left side body. Here you can grab a block nearby for a pillow. You can take your right leg, bend that right knee as a kickstand. You can place that right foot in front of that extended left leg, or you can put it right behind. You're kind of on your left side, you're stretching your left shoulder. Your left hand is behind you, palm facing down. Or you can take your right hand behind your back into a half bind. So close those eyes, squeeze those shoulders. So angle it like so. My hand is like so. I'm going to roll over. Into the shoulders, breathe into the back body. From here, releasing back down onto your belly button. Resting here in reverse Shavasana. Here, pillow your face. Here, bend those knees. You can windshield wiper those heels, massage those thighs. Open up those hips. Nice and slow. And drop those heels. Inhale those elbows back underneath the armpits, coming into Sphinx. Spreading those fingers. Shaking the tailbone. Relax the back. Inhale the chin up to the sky. Exhale, drop the chin to the chest. Here, again, rock your ears gently, left and right. Now loosening the neck. And then inhale back to neutral spine. Right arm across the top of the mat. Inhale, left arm up to the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, weave underneath your right armpit and then walk that right hand to the left. Again, rest your chin or cheek on the top bicep or the crook of your arm. Then close those eyes. Let the heart melt. Just like a butter. Just imagine that. So relax, release those shoulders. We carry a lot of weight on our shoulders, just like Atlas. Weight of the world. And physically, we're always carrying a purse or a backpack or a bag and holding grocery bags. A lot of stress on our shoulders, so we're just letting it take its time to de-stress. Slow your breath down. Listen for that ocean sound behind the throat if you want. It's that Ujjayi breath. Completely emptying your belly here. Give yourself a generous hug. Tighten up that hug. Squeezing yourself. Give yourself a generous hug. Again, pat yourself on the back. You're rolling out of bed. Getting on your mat this morning. Inhaling back. Resting on your right cheek. Right hand beside the right hip. Facing your left hand. Again, feeling for the texture of the mat. You can inhale that left knee toward that left elbow into this crocodile pose, they call it, or Captain Morgan pose. Resting here, breathe into your back body. Slow the breath. So this is the second pose I do in the morning. I do the first one the opposite. And then Balasana is the third. It just gets that back stretch going. Slow it down. Feeling the connection, feeling the texture of that mat. Again, breathe into the back. You're extending that right arm out to the side and be behind you, palm facing down. We're going to take that left hand in front like a push-up hand. We're going to exhale, roll onto your right side body. Again, if you want to grab a block for your pillow, you can. Bending that left knee in front of the extended leg for a kickstand, or you can pull it behind the extended right leg. You can take that left hand and do a half bind behind the back to squeeze the shoulders, open up the heart. And then here you can even try to clasp those hands if you can. It's up to you. You can rewind to where you feel most comfortable. And our shoulders always a little tight. Just giving it a little extra space, well, akasha, because creating this space with oxygen with our air and breath. Softening the muscles. And exhale, roll back onto your belly button. Resting here in your palms of your hand in reverse Shavasana, reverse corpse. Slow your breath down. Take a nice, long, deep breath into your back. Feel that gratitude for just laying on your belly. Sometimes we don't get to do this anymore since kindergarten. It's nice to just relax, have that permission. Give yourself permission to just chill on your belly. Inhaling that chin resting on the mat, placing the palms underneath your armpits, thumbs near the nipples. We're gonna squeeze the elbows toward the ribs, pulling your shoulders away from the ears. We're gonna inhale, lift the chin up gently. This is your little baby cobra. Here you can even lift the palms up. So that way you're squeezing your elbows, using your belly button. And then exhale back down. Resting again on your chin, we're gonna inhale up into all fours. Spread those fingers. And then cross your ankles. We're gonna come into a seated position. Taking your right hand, grabbing your left temple. You can rest your left hand on that knee. Close those eyes. And gently pulling that left temple toward the right. Close those eyes, observe the neck muscle. So you got sternocleidomastoid, which is the muscle connected to your jawline all the way down to your clavicle right here. So breathing here. Here you can take that bottom hand, point it toward the ground. Get that full stretch. And then here you can wrap it behind your back. You get a different stretch with the trapezoid behind, maybe the rhomboid. You can move that top hand around too. Just feel the stretch along the back of your skull. See where it affects your neck muscles. And then here, releasing. Uncross and cross the opposite way. It's always good to balance and rebalance your sit bones. Now taking your left hand and then hold your right temple. And then your right hand, rest on that right knee. Close those eyes. Ooh, you might notice one side might be tighter than the other, or even looser, slacker. You might have slept on one side a little too long. So breathing slow. Give yourself a little gentle tug if you need to. And then here you can drop that bottom hand down. Close those eyes, observe how deep the root of your flesh, of your muscles, insertions, and all those little nodules in your neck. And then wrapping that bottom hand behind. Again, slow your breath down. Our body is like a great machine, full of muscles. And then if you throw a little kink in it, a wrench into your muscles, it's just, you can feel it for sure. And then here, unwinding. Here, grabbing your knees, we're gonna do a little yogic churning. So we're gonna inhale forward, then exhale back, rolling the belly. Inhaling forward, exhale back, and then oppositely. Inhaling forward, so circling the opposite way, kind of open up those hips. Breathing here, exhaling. All right, coming back into neutral sitting. We do a little head rolls, hands on the waist, relaxing the shoulders. So little tiny circles, one direction. So lubricate the top atlas. And then exhaling slowly, big, big circles. And then eventually we're gonna do a little nollie. Exhale, dropping the chin to the chest, hands on the waist, fingers hooking into the rectus abdominis. We're gonna exhale, press the core of the belly, and then pull the elbows in toward each other. Roll the pelvis, spreading the skin of your shoulders, the space between your back, and let the head drop into your lap. So just imagine it like a bowling ball, just let it release. And then quickly release the palms. Good job. Uncross, cross the opposite way. Hands on the waist. Now, if you were just turning it clockwise, now try head spinning the opposite way, counterclockwise. So if you don't remember, try both. So nice little tiny circles. Just lubricating the top out, just tiny, tiny. And then slow it down, big, big circles. Breathing into the neck. You might notice one side is a little bit more tighter or a little bit more cracklier. So you're just being mindful, being gentle, and then eventually exhaling that chin to the chest. And then hands on the waist, fingers hooking into the core of your belly. We're gonna exhale, press firmly, roll the pelvis, pull the elbows in toward each other, spread the skin of the back, let the head drop, and then quickly release. So it gets that churning for that belt, the Agni, the fire in your belly, that digestive juices going for the rest of the day. Here we're gonna actually drop the hands back, drop the head back. And then here, inhale, lift the hips up into sunflower pose. Breathe into your front body. And then exhale, drop the tailbone down. Oh, it's nice feeling when you open up the chest here. Now cross the opposite way. We're gonna drop the hands back again. It's always good to go equal opportunity. Drop the head back. And then inhale the hips up. And then exhale, drop the tailbone down. Good job. Now extend those legs out in front. Resting the palms beside the hips. Flatten out, flex the feet. So we're in Dandasana, staff pose. I'm gonna do a little bandhas. So these locks. There's Uddiyana Bandha, which is your belly lock, and then Mula Bandha is your root lock. And the root lock is, the Kegel muscles, like the nictating feeling that you have to go pee. So you're actually using your Kegel muscles. And the Uddiyana, the belly lock, is you're gonna tighten. So this is Kriya Yoga, where you're telling different parts of your muscles to activate. And then you're gonna use your Jalandhara Bandha, which is your throat lock. So we're gonna practice that while pressing, and you're gonna hold your breath for 10 seconds. So practice using your Mula Bandha. Now try doing that with your Uddiyana Bandha, your belly lock. So tighten that up. And then now your Jalandhara Bandha. I'm gonna inhale and then press firmly into the mat, holding the breath. Ready? Go. And then release. Did you get a little hot? It's a very, very heating feeling. Here, grab our wrists, massaging the wrist, kind of lubricate the wrist. And then oppositely, actually we'll do some wrist exercises. So your right thumb down, left thumb over, and then tighten it up. We're gonna pull gently to your left, then pull gently to your right, and then straighten it up. We're gonna Tootsie Roll it. So we're gonna wrap it under and in. And if this is as far as you can go, that's totally fine. If you can go a little further, it's up to you. You can rewind it, you have to. So we're gonna gently turn left, gently turn right, and then unwind, gently turn left, gently turn right, and then shake it. Shake it back and forth, side to side. Again, your left thumb pointing downward, right hand over, pull and squeeze. Now pulling over gently to your left, gently toward your right, and then straighten up. We're gonna Tootsie Roll it. So this is as far as you can go. You can turn gently left and right. Otherwise, if you can go a little further, again, turning gently left and right. And then unwinding. And then gently turn left, gently turn right. And again, shake it back and forth. And then we're gonna do a little eye-hand coordination. We're gonna shake your right hand front and back. And then your left hand side to side. So go slow first. And then go a little faster. And then switch. So you're going slow. Your left hand front and back, and your right hand side to side. And then go a little faster. And then switch. Good job. Yeah. And this, if it's your first time doing it, it looks silly, go ahead, switch. And then release. It looks silly because you're like trying to tell your body what to do. So this is your eye-hand coordination plus your brain and body talking. Here you can extend those toes. We're gonna drop the hands back. And again, drop the head back, and we're gonna inhale, lift into reverse plank. So we're gonna point the toes, we're gonna inhale, lift the hips up, drop the head back. You're using your core. And then here you can bend those knees into the reverse table. Breathe into the front body. And then eventually exhale, drop your tailbone back down. Whew, good job. You're crossing those ankles and then shake those palms out again. You know, yoga does a lot on your wrists, so we're strengthening the wrist. And we're gonna come back onto your all fours. And then make sure your knees are as wide as the hips, if not wider. And then again, we can do a little bit more wrist exercises. You can actually turn your hand, your fingers toward your belly button, and then your opposite hand, fingers toward the belly button, palms reverse. So let me change the camera so you can see better. So you're kind of gently reversing the palms. I'm gonna exhale slowly, drawing and sitting onto our heels. And then you're gonna gently stretch the wrist, and then hooking the fingernails onto the mat. You're gently keeping the elbows touching each other. We're gonna gently keep hooking those fingernails into the mat until you drop your elbows down, and then here you can smack the wrist together. So activating the wrist. Here you're gonna karate chop your left arm in front, right arm over, as in the Garudasana eagle arms. I'm gonna try to wrap your arms around. And then exhale, drop your right shoulder, resting on your right side, right cheek, twisting your body, your upper torso. Breathe into your back. Hopefully you feel that nice stretch like I do. Inhaling back up toward the center. You're gonna exhale, drop onto your left cheek, twisting the top of your body. So it's a nice little arm stretch and torso twist. Inhaling back up, unwind that karate chop. And then now you're gonna karate chop your right arm in front, wrapping the left arm over. Try to eagle arm it if you can. And then exhale, dropping your left cheek, left shoulder down. The full twist of the torso. Resting here, breathing here. You can pull your sit bones back if you want. Inhaling back toward the center. And then exhale, drop toward your right shoulder. Resting on your right temple. And then inhaling back up. And then releasing where you think. Inhaling back up onto all fours. So that's always fun. So engage the core, spread those fingers. And then tuck the tailbone, pull the ears away from the shoulders, having that flat back. Focus on a point in front of you. You're gonna find a drishti, a little focus point. We're gonna inhale that right arm out in front. So my favorite joke is, what do you call a cow with 3 legs? Tri-tip. And then here we're gonna exhale, pull that left leg back. Keep stretching, keep breathing and reaching. And what do you call a cow with 2 legs? Lean beef. So we're kind of leaning on our own 2 legs. Keep balancing, keep focusing. Inhale, lift the limbs higher. We're gonna do a little spinal balance here. Take that right hand and grab that back foot if you can. If you can't, you can use a strap. Try to wrap it around the ankle and pull it toward and kick out that leg. And then otherwise, releasing everything, dropping down, all the way down to child's pose. Resting here. What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. And he skipped one. What do you call a cow with one leg? Steak. So breathe into your back. Slow your breath down. Of course, what do you call a cow with 5 legs? Rare. I guess it's medium rare. So close those eyes, breathe into your back. Take that time to rest because this is your resting pose. Then slowly inhale back up into all fours. Spread those fingers. The more you spread those fingers, it has less pressure on your wrist. So engage the core, pull your shoulders away from your ears, tuck the tailbone. Your knees are underneath the hips, if not wider. So focus on a point in front of you. That's not moving your drishti. We're gonna inhale that left arm out, a tri-tip pose. So you're balancing on those 3 legs. Again, keep focusing on the point. Inhale that right leg back. Keep breathing, keep reaching. Here, inhale, lift the limbs higher. Good job. We're gonna take that left hand and grab that back foot and kick out that leg. So again, you need that strap. Use the strap. I'm gonna focus on a point in front of you too. Keep breathing and then releasing everything, dropping everything back into child's pose. Resting here. Slow your breath down. Allow that belly to drop between those legs. Here you can inhale, reach those palms up, stretch those shoulders and your back. And then exhale, walk the hands all the way to your far left again, grabbing that left hand with the right. Breathe into your right lung. Lay that belly on that left lap if possible. And then slowly inhaling back toward the center, reaching. Exhale, walk the hands all the way to your right. Lay that belly on the right lap. Breathe into your left lung. And inhaling back toward the center, inhaling, pressing up, sitting on your heels, coming into Virasana. This is Hero's Pose. So you're stretching out your calves. And then here, drop the hands, drop your right hand back behind you. We're gonna inhale that left hand up to the sky, and then inhale, lift your bum up. Getting that stretch, and then here you can look toward the sky. And then exhale, drop your tailbone down, swapping hands, dropping that left hand back, right hand up. Inhale, lift the tailbone up, get that full stretch. It's almost like camel pose, and then dropping back down. Good job. Right arm in front, left arm over, twisting, binding. Gonna inhale, lift your elbows up, breathe into your shoulders. Close those eyes, breathing here. And then exhale, drop your elbows, drop your forehead toward the thumbs, resting your forehead on the thumbs. You can rock your ears left or right. Eagle arms. You can always dangle. And then releasing everything, coming off your heels. We're gonna give your feet a nice gentle whack to activate. And then you're gonna tuck the toes. So we're gonna come onto our, sitting on our heels, coming into suffering pose. As if all poses aren't suffering enough. And Buddha's saying all life is suffering, so we're acknowledging that. We're gonna take your left arm in front, right arm over. You can dangle if you want, or you can bind and twist. And then breathe into the shoulders. You're gonna inhale, lift those elbows up. And again, if you don't want to come into the suffering pose, you can sit in the seated pose and just do the same thing with the arms. So breathe into the shoulders. And then exhale, drop your elbows, drop your forehead toward those thumbs, rest your forehead on the thumbs, rock your ears left or right. And then release and wind, coming off those toes. If you're on those toes, give again a gentle, so that opens up those arches. We're in shoes all the time, so it's always good to open up the feet. Coming back into all fours, spread those fingers. Knees underneath the hips. We're gonna tuck your toes. We're gonna inhale, lift the hips up, come into downward dog. So you can take the full length of the mat. There's all these modifications. If it's too much on your wrist, you can come onto your forearms. You can even use a chair or the wall. So your feet are just as wide as the hips, if not wider. Spreading those fingers, it's all about just like the spider, water spiders. You gotta spread those legs. Just pedaling away your heels. You can shake your head and nod. You hear me cracking? You're just kind of aligning your neck and spine. You can even sway your hips left and right. Get the full side stretch. You're going to balance here. Place that left foot in the center of the mat in the back, and then you're going to inhale, lift that right heel up, balancing in three-legged pose. Good job. Now stack the hips, bend that right knee, take big, big circles. Breathing one direction. Exhale, circling the opposite way. And then exhale, drop that foot back down. We're going to inhale that left leg up. Stack the hips, bend that knee. Take big circles. Circle one direction. Exhale, circle the opposite way. Now this time we're going to exhale, swing that knee, that left knee to the nose. And you can place that left foot onto the outer edge of your left hand, coming into a lunge. Here you can drop that back knee down. Untuck the back toes. And drop onto your forearms. You roll the sole of your feet, and if you need a block, you can use a block. Again, breathe into your back. So this like low lizard pose. You want to do high lizard, you can have your hands up high onto a block and dropping the hips. As long as you are comfortable, you can roll the sole of your feet. This opens up both your left and right hips in different opposite ways. Or you can even challenge yourself. You can look over your left shoulder and try to grab your back foot. Drop your hips and pull your right heel into the glute. You can always use the strap. So you got extra layers of challenges. And eat challenges for breakfast, right? Makes us stronger. And then releasing that back leg. Place the palms back onto the mat. We're going to exhale, pull your sit bones back into a runner's stretch. A runner's lunge, the runner's stretch. You're going to flex that front foot. Going to pull that left sit bone back in space. Breathe into our spine to elongate the crown. And exhaling, bowing down over that left knee. Again, if you need blocks to help support your hands, you're welcome to use. Grab them nearby. And if it's too wobbly and your front knee needs to bend, you can sit back on your back foot. The same effect, you're just bowing down over that knee. Because our hamstrings are tight, we can always modify. And then slowly, slowly inhaling back forward into that high lunge. We're going to swap legs, drawing back into all fours. Coming into that tabletop. Good job. Whew. All right, now tuck your toes. We're going to inhale back up into downward dog. Spread those fingers, walk the full length of the mat. Here, pedal away your heels. You can shake your head and nod. You can even grab the sides of your mat if you feel like you're slipping. Again, you can sway your hips left and right. Again, coming into that three-legged dog, we're going to place that left foot in the center. Inhale that right heel up, and then exhale that knee to nose. You're going to swing that right foot to the right outer edge. Coming into that runner's lunge. You can drop that back knee down, untuck the back toes. Inhale, lift up through the crown into a high lizard pose. You can remain here. You can even grab the blocks nearby if you want to help support. If it's too much on your back knee, you can always use a block for the back knee. That's a kind of cool trick I learned. So coming down onto low lizard, you can rest your forearms on blocks, roll the sole of your feet, your front foot, allowing your hips to open up. So slowly and gently we'll get there. And you can even come off those blocks. If you don't need blocks, you can look over your right shoulder if you want, and you can take your right hand for an extra challenge grab your back foot and you wrap it around with a strap and try to pull your heel toward your glute if you want. Again, breathe into your back. And then slowly release everything. We're going to place the palms back underneath. Come into that high lunge. We're going to exhale, pull your sit bones back into a runner stretch. So you're flexing your front foot. You can have your hands on either side. Again, you can even use blocks nearby. You can grab those blocks. Inhale through the crown. Exhale, forward fold over that right knee. Pull that right sit bone back in space. We got a lot of tight hamstrings. And if you feel like you have to bend that front knee, you can sit back on your back heel and forward fold over that right leg. Good job. And this is especially if you have tight hamstrings, this is very challenging. But again, if you've done it, this is your first time, you're going to see the difference of trying and trying and trying. And then inhaling back forward. What you're going to do is you're going to draw both your legs and come into a forward fold. So standing forward fold. Exhale, forward fold all the way down here. You can bend both the knees, feet as wide, if not wide as the mat. You can grab your elbows. Lay your belly on the lap, let your hip dangle. And shake your head, nod. A ragdoll left to right. So again, this is also stretching the back of your glutes. Also finding, if you're feeling dizzy, find a point on the ground. And you can wrap your arms behind your back, interlace the fingers, squeeze the palms, and then try to pull the wrists forward. Shake your head and nod if you want. Get into the neck. Get into the shoulder stretch. Breathing here. It's all about the breath. And release the palms. Inhale halfway up, engage the core. Palms either on the shins, the knees if you need. Having a flat back, again, using your spinal muscles. Pull your shoulders away from the ears. Good job. Exhale, forward fold. Again, inhaling, sprouting on up, hands to the sky, hands together, and then hands to the heart. Rolling the shoulders back, engage the core, tuck the tailbone. This is your Samastihi, your equal standing pose. Close those eyes, lift those toes up, plant them firmly into the mat. We're gonna exhale, lean forward. I was gonna say roll forward. Lean forward, and then roll back, lean back. And then inhaling back toward the center. We're gonna lean toward your right, and then lean back toward the center and lean toward the left. And come back toward your center point, your true north and your true self. Blink your eyes open. Inhale, arms up to the sky, reaching. You're gonna lift your heels up, tippy toes. Gonna stretch those calves and balance here. If you need to walk on your toes, you can. And we're gonna keep reaching for the stars. And then exhale, drop your heels, hands together. And then exhale all the way down to a forward fold. Good job. Inhale halfway up. Again, engage the core, palms either on your shins or knees. Exhale, forward fold. Whew. Here, since your hands are near the ground, you can grab a block, place your left hand onto the block in the center in front of you. We're going to inhale that right hand up to the sky. You're going to stack the shoulders. You're going to exhale, drop that right hand down onto the block. We're going to windmill up. Inhale that left arm up to the sky. Stack the shoulders. Then exhale back down. Good job. You're going to inhale halfway up. Engage the core. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, sprouting back up. Hands to the sky. Hands together. Exhale, hands to the heart. Rolling the shoulders back. Tucking the tailbone. So your feet might be you can try this where your feet are wide as the mat. See how you feel in this equal standing pose. Now pull your feet together, your toes together, feet apart, your heels apart. Close those eyes, rolling the shoulders back, tucking the tailbone. You feel sturdy. Now pull your heels together and toes together. Close those eyes. Is this even harder? Everyone's different. Your hips might be designed differently, so this might be sturdier for you. Now, coming back into either the sturdiest stance, either your feet apart, toes together, or heels apart, and the option is toes together and heels apart. That's the last option. So now coming back into your most sturdiest stance here, relax the palms to the sides, either the palms facing forward or along the inseam of the pants. This is your Tadasana, or mountain pose. It's like Tada Asana. So you're feeling the most grounded here. Feeling the energy of the earth beneath your feet. Feeling that Pada Bandha, that root lock almost. This is actually the foot lock. The Hasta, if your hands are on the ground, that'll be the Hasta Bandha, the hand lock. So you're feeling the energy. Close those eyes. Now blink your eyes open. Inhale, arms up to the sky, reaching. Exhale, hands to the heart. We're gonna lean over to your right foot. Inhale that left knee up in space. Here, rock and roll, wiggle those toes. We're gonna exhale, swing it back behind yourself. You're gonna have a micro bend in that standing leg. If you need a chair or wall nearby, you can use that. You can have your arms out like Superman and keep lifting that back heel. And so have that nice micro bend, squaring the hips toward the ground. You can flex your back foot, make sure it's pointed toward the ground. You can airplane arms. This is my least favorite pose, but after I keep doing this more and more, it gets a little stronger every time. Hold it longer. Now we're gonna exhale, drop that back foot down. I'm gonna move this out of the way so you can see. You're sealing that back foot, bending that front knee in front of that ankle. Hands on the hips. If your hips are parallel with the top of the mat, you're great. Otherwise, you can move your back foot around. As long as you're keeping that front ankle right over the knee. You don't want to bend it over. You don't want to be too far back. You're not bending enough. Make sure you're bending that front knee right over the ankle, stacking it. The back foot is sealed. Your hands on the hips. You're going to be square with the top of the mat. As you're going to come into warrior. You went from warrior 3, which is this, to warrior 1. Inhale the arms up to the sky, reaching. Pull the elbows past those ears. Keep breathing. This is stretching out your psoas muscles in your left leg. Now we're gonna seal the hands together, namaste. Now if you want a little micro back bend, you can exhale, pull the thumbs a little further back. Now exhale, open those arms out to the sides. Right hand in front, left hand behind you. You can flip the palms up, relax the shoulders. Actually grab those hips now. Are your hips parallel with the side of the mat? With your front knee bent over the ankle, if they're not parallel, you can move that back leg a little wider. So that way, when you're squatting a little bit more, your front knee is right in front of the ankle. Imagine laying a library book on your front mat. Now inhale the arms back out in front. You can look back and behind. You can flip the palms up just to relax the shoulders, look back and behind. Make sure they're right in front and right behind. Sometimes my students, their hands are off to the side. I don't realize it's not right in front or back. So being self-aware. Now flip them back down and look to your front middle finger. That's your drishti, your focus point. Breathing here. Extend through those middle fingers. We're going to exhale, squat a little bit more. And your warrior 2. Virabhadrasana 2. Now flipping the front palm up to the sky. We're going to inhale it up to the sky. Drop that back hand down your back knee. Breathe in and reverse warrior. Here you can wrap that back hand behind the back into a half bind. Again, breathe into your front body. Reverse warrior. And then inhaling back, arms out in front and behind. Good job. Now we're going to straighten out that front knee. You're going to lean and reach toward Trikonasana, so triangle pose. Keep leaning and reaching, and then exhale, drop that hand either to your top ankle, or you can grab a nearby block, place it alongside your outer edge of your right foot or inside edge. You can stack the shoulders. So making sure your top hand is reaching toward the sky, your drishti, your focus point can be your big toe or the middle of the room or your top thumb. And making sure you have enough torso length. If you don't, you can use your ankle, your top leg, just to give your torso extra space. Making sure you're not crunching over. I want to give space to both sides, lateral sides. Now taking that top hand over the ear, you're gonna bend that front knee, you can lay your left elbow onto that lap. This is side ankle pose. So you're imagining the energy from your bottom back leg shooting energy through your body, through your torso, out through your top fingertips, over your ears. Good job. Here, you're gonna drop that top hand down. Whew. Coming back into that high lunge, you can spin that back heel up. Or you can seesaw back and forth, opening up the hip. Woo! A lot on one side, huh? Here, you're gonna kind of walk up into a forward fold. And bend those knees, lay the belly in your lap, grab your elbows, let it sway left and right. Let the head dangle. And then release those arms. You're gonna inhale halfway up. Engage the core. Pull your shoulders away from your elbows. Having a flat back, you're using those spinal muscles. Infraspinalis, supraspinalis. We're gonna exhale, forward fold. Then time to get a little stronger. Inhaling, hands back up to the sky. Hands together. Exhale, hands to the heart. Rolling the shoulders back and tucking the tailbone. Coming into this resting pose, Tadasana, Samastitihi, equal standing pose. Close his eyes, rest there. So imagine this. This is your resting pose. As if you were almost in corpse pose, lying back down. So you're having that flat back. And then blink your eyes open. We're gonna lean over to your left foot. Inhale that right leg up in space. Rock and roll, wiggle those toes, balancing here. And then we're gonna exhale, swing that right foot back, dropping the heart, having a micro bend in that front knee. You can grab again anything that you need, a block or wall or blanket, pillow, whatever that's nice and sturdy. And then lift your back heel. You can extend those arms out like an airplane. Focus on a point in front of you. This gets your left hip stronger. And then eventually drop that back foot down. Coming into Warrior One. So went from Warrior Three, Virabhadrasana 3, to about Warrior One. Bending that front knee right over that left ankle. Hands on the hips. You're sealing that back heel down. Your hips are square to the top of the mat if they're parallel. They should be. If not, you can move your back foot a little closer, just so when your knee is bent over the ankle, your hips are going to be parallel with the top of the mat. You're going to inhale, lift those arms up, reaching for the stars. Or pull those elbows past those ears. Keep breathing. So feeling the energy into your fingertips, reaching for the sky. Now exhale, seal the hands together in Namaste. If you want a little micro back bend, you can slowly pull those thumbs back beyond slightly. And then exhale, open up those arms out to the sides. So grabbing the hips again. Keeping mindful, you're bending that knee over the ankle, pulling that knee toward the pinky toe, if not second or third toe. If your hips are not parallel with the side of the mat, you can pull that back heel a little wider. Again, Keeping in mind, you don't want your knee caving in. You want it pointed toward the pinky toe or the second or third toe. And then your hips are parallel. And then you can also notice, is your pelvis spilling forward like a cup of tea? Is it sturdy? Is it straight like a cup of tea? So you don't want to spill your pelvis one direction or another. You want it nice and flat. Keeping in mind of the knee, pointing toward the pinky toe. Now inhale, arms out, right hand behind, left hand out to the side. You're gonna flip the palms up, relax the shoulders. You can, again, look back and forth, and then flip them back down. You're gonna squat a little more so you can widen your stance if you can, just tiny scoots of your feet. And then here, imagine laying that library book on that lap, that front lap. Good job. Keep breathing. Can you imagine holding this pose for like 7 minutes? Good thing this isn't yin. You're gonna flip the front palm up, inhaling it to the sky, dropping that back hand to that back knee, inhaling to your front lung, a reverse warrior, good job. Now wrapping that right hand behind the back. Again, breathe into your front lung. And all this is very challenging. So we eat challenges for breakfast. And then inhaling, arms out in front. Good job. Now we're gonna straighten out that front knee. We're gonna lean forward. Keep reaching, keep breathing. We're gonna drop that left hand onto that left ankle. Again, you need to go ahead, fetch your block. You can. Here, stack the shoulders, top hand over the ears. Now imagine being in Bubblegum Alley. Don't be touching the walls, the fuzzy black walls. They smell good, but you don't want to be touching it. Black mold and whatnot. So you don't want to stick your butt out. You don't want to stick your front hip too close. Keep breathing, keep stacking. And again, you want equal torso length. So giving it a nice deep breath here. Now, take that top hand and pull it over your ear. If you want to challenge yourself, you can even lift that bottom hand and kind of like hold this imaginary space. Oh, that's a lot. You can bend that front knee, lay the elbow onto that lap. You got side angle pose. Again, you can even use that block again if you want to go a little deeper. So imagine shooting the energy from your back leg through your back, through your spine, out through toward your top arm, shooting it gently through your fingertips. This is side angle pose. And then dropping that top hand back down, you can spin that back heel up. Again, you can seesaw back and forth, opening up the hip. Here, we're gonna come back down to earth. We're gonna drop the knees. You're gonna come all the way down to all fours. And then crossing your ankles. It's a hot day, so we're just gonna go real gentle. Again, you're gonna drop your hands back behind. Have your feet out in front. And windshield wiper your knees. Open up those hips. Now extending that left leg out in front. You're gonna take your right leg over. So you're gonna cross it like this. Hands back behind. We're gonna inhale, scoot that bottom heel up. Keeping the front foot flexed, we're gonna kind of stretch into your right outer hip. You can even kind of sway left and right. So this opens up. This is a modified, what do you call it, figure four. Releasing that bottom heel. You now take your right foot and seal it into your left inner thigh. Okay, let me change this view. We're gonna go into one of my favorite poses. It's Jani Shirshasana. But we're gonna pull the flesh out from the backside. Inhale, arms up to the sky, reaching. We're gonna exhale, grab your big toe and then pinky. So this is Maha Mudra, the Great Seal. Inhale through the crown. If you need a belt nearby, you can grab a belt as well. And then exhale, forward fold over that left knee. You can either grab your ankle, big toe, little toe, or belt. Feel that stretch alongside your right side body. If not, your glutes, your hamstrings might be tight. And this is a great stretch for that back. We have very tight bodies. When we have very tight bodies, you don't feel like you have much movement. So you're giving it breath. You're softening the muscles. You're allowing the muscles to stretch. All these smooth muscles. You got short activating and long activating muscles. So you're just letting the long muscles relax. And slowly, slowly inhaling back up. Now swapping legs, extending that right leg. I'm going to take that left ankle over, back, their hands back behind. You're going to inhale, smooth that heel up, keeping your feet flexed to protect the knee. Again, you can rock left and right. Open up those hips. This is a very good modification. Figure four. So it looks like a figure four. And then releasing that leg. We're going to seal that left leg into the right inner thigh. Again, pull the flesh out from the backside. Inhale, arms up to the sky, reaching. And then exhale, grab your big toe, little toe, or you can use a belt. So inhale through the crown of Maha Mudra, Greek seal pose, and then exhale, bowing down. So this is Janu Shirshasana when your forehead gets to the knee, eventually. You get that full stretch of your side back and your hamstrings. Very juicy pose, keep breathing. Nice and slow. Nice textured deep breaths. And slowly, slowly inhaling up. Now straighten up both your legs. Pull the flesh from the backside. Inhale, arms up to the sky, reaching. Now flatten out those palms as if you were pressing, you're holding a tray of water. And then flex your feet. Pull your elbows past your ears. This is your downward dog, but in a different plane. So it's kind of cool. Feel all those muscles, all that pressure on your hands and palms. Now exhale, forward fold. Here you can bend your knees and grab your ankles. You can use a belt. This is Paschimottanasana, Western side stretch, bowing down. Breathe into your back body. So let's breathe to the back. Slow your breath. Every inhalation, come out just slightly to elongate the crown. And then exhale, go a little deeper. And then slowly, slowly inhaling up. You're gonna get ready for Shavasana. And you have an option to grab your mat to a local real estate along the wall and place it along the wall and have swing your legs up. Otherwise, your feet are on front, you grab the back hamstrings, you grab a blanket nearby. And exhaling slowly, slowly engage the core, using every spinal muscle, just nice and slow, back down to earth. And then here, sprawl those legs out, palms facing up. Close those eyes. This is the hardest pose. It's almost like we went through the peak poses. This is the ultimate pose. That's why it's always the last pose. So slow your breath down. Feel the gratitude of the breath. It's like a flower. Appreciate that breath. Allow those eyeballs to sink into the eye sockets. Relax the cheeks. Relax the throat. and your shoulders. Your heart relax. Relax the belly button. Relax your pelvic core. Let your palms relax. Relax the thighs. The back of the knees. And the calves. Relax the heels. Let the heels get heavier. Integrating everything you've done today. It is sometimes said that a dullard, someone who's completely vacuous, presents to the observer the same appearance as one who is in samadhi, a state of divine bliss. This is because neither the dullard's mind nor the saint's has movement in the consciousness. The difference is that one is negative, comatose, and insensitive, and the other is alert, positive, supremely aware. I mention this because it is easy for beginners to confuse somnolence or a pleasant languor with a meditative state. Often, as students do shavasana, corpse pose, or attempt meditation, they drift into agreeable torpor as if they were swallowed in cotton wool. This is not the prelude to samadhi, but to sleep. The dullness of sleep is undesirable in a waking state. So in the frenetic overactivity that arises from turbulent sleep, we toss and turn at night, we shall toss and turn in the day. And what you're seeking is an alert, self-contained, egoless state that corresponds to the refreshing aftermath of good repose. The experience of repose at night will give us clues to the repose of mind and sense in the meditative state. Good sleep makes consciousness brilliant. Poor sleep leaves it tarnished. Bad night makes us see everything askew. Erroneous knowledge gives rise to erroneous thoughts, words, and actions. They're not harmless. Often, when we correct our misperceptions, we look back and say, I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't have done this. We feel guilt and regret. Yet in the practical world, we put a lot of the effort into avoiding this situation. If we are buying a house, we employ a surveyor to check its structure, the safety of the land, the supply of water. We hire a title company to verify the legal deeds. We ask a bank to carry out the financial transaction correctly. We check availability of schools and transport. We don't want to make a mistake, yet most people looking back on their lives see them as being littered with mistakes. We say, it's only I'd known then what I know now. But what we know now does not seem to stop us from making more mistakes. The yogic blueprint says that right knowledge and erroneous knowledge are two modifications or states of consciousness. By the practice of yoga, we can lessen and eradicate misperception, or wrong knowledge, and gain accurate perception and right knowledge. I'm not talking about changing our opinion, although this may happen, but rather about abandoning them altogether. Opinion is yesterday's right or wrong knowledge, warmed up and reserved for today's situation. Opinions are rooted in the past, and our examinations of memory has shown us that the past can be a minefield. A practitioner of yoga is always trying to be in the present, which is where reality is. And so perfect present awareness in a given situation is his or her goal. This is not to be reached in one bound. But one of the things we may notice about ourselves on the inward journey is that opinions based on wrong perception and information are gradually replaced by those with a more accurate foundation. This is akin to a situation when we change bad habits into good ones prior to reaching an unconditional freedom. And wiggle your fingers and your toes, integrating everything you've done today, challenges and more. There's just a reawakening of your body. Here, you can draw your knees into your chest. Rock left and right like a boiled egg. Massage the side bodies. And squeeze the palms, squeeze everything, squeeze your face, and then kind of stretch out if you want. Give yourself a nice yawn in here. You can even roll your favorite side and give yourself 2 deep breaths. Slowly, slowly waking up. When you're ready, come up into a seated position.